Best Wednesday night Virginia dance party, goth night energy. Let's go. Here we go. It's official, Virginia fucks. This beer is strong as all hell. The bartender gave it to my beautiful partner Scarlett that's running the merch booth. So he gave it to me and he was like, be careful. Jesus. Bottoms up, motherfuckers. Alright. More dance party. That was up to 6. Now we're going to 8. Normally that's our last song, but there's no green room
One more
for us to
song!
escape to. So, would you like to just hear one more song? I get it. I think that encores are cheesy, but I know that some of you like spiritually need that release, that moment in your head where we play adult peekaboo and then we all move on. So we'll even simulate it for you. Thank you, Virginia. Have a good night. Cheers. I'm so grateful. I'm humbled. Cheers, y'all. So, we're going to end this with a song that brought me into this weird, spooky world of goth or post-punk, whatever the fuck you want to call it. If you're a Redditor,
It's reggae!
it's really... It's actually, most of it is actually stolen from reggae. I mean, if you listen to the first couple Bauhaus records, half of it is like straight up like John fucking reggae. That band that brought you into like alternative music, whether it's goth or punk or whatever. There's that one moment where you heard that song either on like a CD player or cassette or vinyl or something, an MP3 player.
A Spartan kick for the chest.
Yes, and it was like, holy fuck, what is that? And you didn't know what it was, but you were like, that's for me. This is one of those songs. So we're going to say goodnight to you tonight with just a little bit of joy. Goodnight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Holy shit. What a great fucking night, and I mean that with every fiber of my being. Every fiber of my being, I mean it. Before we go, I want to say one last little thing. And I've been saying this at every show, and I'm going to keep saying this until it stops mattering. And I think that that's going to be a while. I was born in the city of Berlin, Germany in the 80s. I'm old. When I was born there, a wall was erected down the middle of that city that split that city and that country down the middle. And it divided families and a populace. On the east side of that wall lived people under what was called the DDR, not the Dance Revolution. It was an oppressive, authoritative regime that spawned off from the USSR. And it was one of the most oppressive governments of all time in Western civilization's history. 1 in 4 people, regular everyday people, worked for what was called the Stasi. They were a secret police organization that basically pitted everybody against each other to divide and conquer by fear and keep everybody oppressed through division and fear. And people were ratting each other out for political favor or for money or just to get by or just to get out of a jam with that same organization. This amazing thing started to happen in the mid-80s though. An ironic source brought radio waves across that wall because you can't stop nature. You can't stop radio waves from coming across walls. And those radio waves brought punk fucking rock music from an ironic source, the American Armed Forces Network Radio. So these kids, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, they started hearing the radio waves, bringing messages from bands like the Sex Pistols and Kennedys, etc. And they understood the messages. They didn't understand even what it looked like or the cultural nuance behind it, but they understood the messages. And those messages told these kids, hey, you're being fucked over, you're being controlled for profit and for power, and you're being divided so that the people at the top can maintain that. So these kids started forming their own punk rock bands. They started getting together and bombed out buildings, even churches, anywhere where the government wasn't keeping their eyes exactly on them. And they started making their own messages, and they started telling their own stories. And it was amazing, and it was pure. And then because of that, that government recognized it pretty quickly, and they started putting those literal children in jail, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. Some of them went to prison for 6, 7, 8 years. But this amazing thing, you can't stop nature. You can't stop people from wanting to be free. You can't stop people from yearning to go against their oppressors and gain their freedom. And eventually those kids, who people so often write off, they got their fucking freedom. They brought that fucking wall down. So if you're wondering why I'm talking about this tonight, I want to make it very clear to you, because I think this matters. We're from Georgia, we're in Virginia, this matters here especially. I want to make it very clear, America right now, it's not a hypothetical, it's not something that could occur, or maybe we'll see it down in a few years from now. We currently live in a fascist authoritative state. And I know that for a fact. There you go. But I know it for a fact because even people that were considered centrists are now starting to regulate down and illegalize things that you can't control about yourself. Things like your gender identity, your queerness, and eventually they're going to come after things that are your religious identity if it's not Christian, and maybe even down to the color of your skin. And I say, fuck that. Fuck that. So, look around you. This isn't a big scene, but that doesn't matter because enough people get together in these safe places where these messages permeate and they land with the right groups of people. You're going to be these kids that bring the fucking walls down. So keep your scene alive, keep it going. Thank you so much for being here. Stay strange. Take care.